Sir, my name is Brooks Solheim, and this is my systems thinking video on the M4 carbine. The M4 carbine is a physical, non-living, man-made system designed to provide individual soldiers that are operating in close quarters the capability to engage targets at an extended range with accurate lethal fire. The M4 carbine is the latest weapon in a family of firearms dating back to the M16. It is a shorter and lighter version of the M16 assault rifle. The M16 was developed as the AR-15 by American engineer Eugene Stoner of Armalite Incorporation in the late 1950s and was adopted as standard infantry weapon for the U.S. military in 1967. The conflicts in Panama and Somalia required the needs for soldiers to operate in towns in close quarters and mandated the need for a new weapon system. This close quarters combat was the incentive behind the M4, or a weapon with a shorter barrel and greater accuracy to engage targets at extended ranges with lethal fire. The M4 was introduced to the U.S. Army in the mid-1990s. From the outside, the M4 looks like a clear-cut system, but truly it is a complex system that has many components. Looking at the M4 from the spatial arrangement, the meta system is the U.S. Army Rifleman. The system is the M4 carbine. The subsystem is the trigger, and the element is the 5.56 round. The breakdown of the M4 carbine can be pretty complex. The M4 is controlled by a user, or a U.S. soldier. It can be broken down into many subsystems. The upper receiver consists of a forward assist, a bolt carrier, a firing pin, and a charging handle. The lower receiver consists of a buffering spring, a buffer, a trigger assembly, magwell, safety, and a loaded or unloaded magazine. At an Army training range, it is easy to see the boundaries of an M4, where external to the system a command is given to engage targets, which will inform the soldier to put his or her weapon on semi, pull the trigger, and fire their weapon. Internal to the system is the firing pin strikes the loaded round and ignites gunpowder, which causes the weapon system to fire the round. External to the system is when the range goes cold or called to cease fire and the soldier stops firing his or her weapon. When discussing the visibility of an M4, the designer has white box visibility because they recognize the complete transparency of the M4 as a system. The soldier or user of the M4 has a gray box visibility because he or she may know that when you pull the trigger, the hammer drops and the weapon system fires a round, but they may not understand the interactions of all the subsystems in an M4. A civilian businessman has black box visibility because he does not know the internal or external processes of an M4. Here we are going to take a look at a systemogram to further describe the system under consideration, the M4 carbine. If we look at the systemogram, we see two main containment nodes. One contains logisticians and non-commissioned officers. The second containment node is filled with three nodes: range success, troop readiness, and mission effectiveness. All other nodes on the page play a pivotal role in ensuring success across the systemogram. Each single node contains a noun that is connected to another node by a relationship. For example, the range safety officer node is connected to the ammo supply point node with a relationship of interfacing with. The first step in the life cycle is all about establishing a clear systems need. This begins by identifying the customer as the U.S. Army and their needs for an M4 weapon system. The second step in the life cycle is developing the system concept. In this step, the various dimensions of system risk are identified and redefined, such as the performance, verifying that the system will work, and confirming the system is affordable. The third step involves designing, developing, testing, and documenting the performance of the system. This step takes place at various times and locations. The fourth step of the system's life cycle is producing the system. This takes place in factories owned by Remington Arms Company and the Colt Defense LLC. The fifth step is to deploy the system. This consists of shipping the produced M4s to operational military units and issuing them all the way down the chain of command to the system's operator's level. The sixth stage in the life cycle is to operate the system. This takes place at training or live fire ranges and ultimately during deployments. Finally, the seventh stage of the life cycle is the retirement of the system. However, in the U.S. Army, this stage never seems to be met because the systems are used for as long as possible. Since the creation of the M4 weapon system, there have been many advances to the weapon system, such as sights, grenade launchers, grips, bipods, and many more. Numerous advancements have led to the success and continual use of the M4. These advancements have been driven by innovation, which is driven by technology and an ever-changing enemy. Overall, the success of the M4 carbine can be contributed to the design of the weapon, its ability to be altered, and its everlasting need in a world that seems to have a hard time finding peace. This portion of the project contains my works cited. Thank you for watching, sir.